This is the second video in the series of thanatology. In the last video, we learned about the definition of thanatology, mode of death, causes and manner of death, and in the last, we learned science of death. In this video, we'll learn about sudden death, the science of death. The science of death consists of three signs that are basically intermediate signs, early signs, and late signs. In the intermediate signs, we'll learn that we'll have flat ECG, flat EEG, and complete cessation of the functioning of the lungs. So, in this video, we'll learn in detail about the science of death. So, firstly, we start with what is sudden death. As per WHO, death occurring within 24 hours instantaneously or within 1 hour of onset of morbid symptom means if a person is suffering from some of a disease or not even any disease, it is not he or she is not showing any of the symptom, but within 24 hours the person is dead without any known cause externally. By seeing the body, we'll come to know, we'll categorize it in under the sudden death. In the cases of sudden death, it is not possible to find the cause of death externally, so autopsy is necessary to eradicate the possibility of foul play. Means, how do we differentiate between either a death is a sudden death or it is caused by any of the other means, like it can be homicidal, by it can be by poisoning or accidental. In the cases of accidental, we see the external features, but in the cases of poisoning, sometimes we don't see any external features, so we have to go for a autopsy. So autopsy is necessary to eradicate the possibility of foul play, because a doctor who issued death certificate in the cases of sudden death can be accused कि either a doctor is been assessing the crime, and this foul play, the allegation of foul play can be blamed on the doctor. So it is very necessary कि in the cases of sudden death, the eradication of possibility of foul play is done by autopsy. So sudden death has many of the causes. Like the first is cardiovascular. It consists about 44 to 50% of the cases. In the cardiovascular diseases, we have many of the diseases like coronary artery diseases, valvular heart diseases, congenital heart diseases, hypertensive heart diseases, infection like myocarditis and pericarditis, etc. We have many of the causes in which this cardiovascular disease is responsible for sudden death. Similarly, in the cases of respiratory system like pulmonary embolism or bronchopneumonia, massive hemoptysis, obstruction by foreign body, air embolism, pneumothorax, neoplasm, etc. are the reasons for the sudden death. These all reasons are not seen externally, so the autopsy is done to confirm the cause of death. Thirdly, in this we have this diseases of central nervous system. It contribute about 10 to 18% of the total cases of the sudden death. Like example, we have intercerebral hemorrhage, cerebral thrombosis, subarachnoid hemorrhage, embolism in the brain, etc. We have the causes of the sudden central nervous system failure or central nervous system disease. Also, we have some of the conditions like meningitis, tumor, abscess, etc. These can't be identified externally, so autopsy is done. In the cases of gastrointestinal system, it contributes about 6 to 8% of the cases. The examples for these are like hemorrhages from the peptic ulcer, esophageal malignancy, etc., or the stomach malignancy, etc. The strangulated hernia can be also be a reason. The rupture of abdominal aneurysm can also be a reason. Like any of the other diseases like acute hemorrhagic pancreatitis or appendicitis, these all can contribute to the sudden death in gastrointestinal system. So autopsy should be done. In the cases of genitourinary system, which contributes about 3 to 5% of total sudden death, like chronic nephritis, tuberculosis of the kidney, tumor of the kidney of the bladder, etc. These contribute in sudden death. Many of the diseases of many of the diseases of reproductive system like toxemia of the pregnancy, rupture of the ectopic pregnancy, uterine hemorrhage due to fibroid, carcinoma in the uterus, etc. Also can be the reason of sudden death. So these all should be clarified and should be verified with autopsy. So the doctor, if issued a certificate, no accuse of foul play can be imposed on him or her. Similarly, in this series, we have like diseases of endocrine, like a diabetic coma, that is the most commonest. In the cases of diabetic coma, the sudden death can occur, and this should be eradicated by autopsy confirmation. Like we have in another, we have heterogenic cause. Like heterogenic cause consists of abuse of the drug, mismatched blood transfusion, sudden withdrawal of the steroid, anesthesia, etc. Also leads to heterogenic causes of sudden death. In the last, we have miscellaneous, like miscellaneous things like anaphylaxis, cerebral malaria, alcoholism, shock from fright, emotion, sickle cell crisis, etc. These all contribute in sudden death. Like an indeterminate death, this is very rare, and cause cannot be determined clearly. In some cases, we can't determine the cause of death. It is categorized in the sudden death because the sign and symptoms appear within the 24 hours of onset of the disease. So, according to this, we can classify this into sudden death. Moving on to next, what are signs of death? Signs of death: the changes which occur after death are helpful in estimation of approximate time of death and to differentiate death from suspended animation. We all know what is suspended animation. Suspended animation is a condition in which the person is not dead but appears to be dead. Okay, we'll look it in the next slide. So here we have to see a major thing. What is the sign of death? The changes which occur after death are helpful in estimation of the approximate time of the death and to differentiate death from suspended animation. These consist of three major things. What are these? First are immediate changes that occur immediately after death. In this, we have cessation of brain, cessation of circulation, and cessation of respiration. In the next, we have early changes. Early changes like changes of the skin, changes of the eye, algor mortis, livor mortis, rigor mortis. We'll see in these all in detail video. And the what will be the late changes in the dead body? In late changes, we have putrefaction, adipose hair formation, and the mummification. We'll see one by one. We'll see what are the changes what is the cessation of brain, cessation of circulation, cessation of respiration, changes in skin, changes in eye, alga mortis, liver mortis, rigor mortis, putrefaction, mummification, etc., etc. We'll see in detail. So moving on to next. In the cases of immediate changes, a person dies, what will be the immediate changes? This is also known as somatic death. A person dies. In the previous video we know what is the definition of death. If a person dies, now what will be the immediate changes? The first will be the cessation of brain and brain stem function. The first is the tripod of life. The tripod is brain, heart, and lungs. These all will stop working. In this, we see firstly we will see when the cessation of brain and the brain stem function ceases, what will be the signs we'll get? The earliest sign of death is a stoppage of functioning of brain and the brain stem. There is insensibility and the loss of both sensory and the motor function of a person. There is loss of reflex, no response, and no tonicity of the muscles. The important point is tonicity of the muscles. As we all know, the brain gives the information to the muscles to contract. If the brain stop giving this information to the muscle get relaxed and the tonicity of the muscles is lost. This is the important point. Next we have the pupil are widely dilated. As we all know, the pupil remains in normal state because the brain sends continuous message to the pupil of the eye that you have to be in normal position, that you have to be contracted this much. When the brain stop giving this message, the pupil will dilate because the message of contraction is not coming from the brain. So this condition is sometimes confused as prolonged fainting attack, vagal inhibition phenomena, epilepsy, catalepsy, necrosis, and electrocaution, etc. Now, what does this mean? This means this condition can also be seen in vagal inhibition. If a person is having a vagal inhibition, like there is a wound or attack on a spinal cord and the vagal inhibition occur, so this condition can also be seen. If a person is fainted, this condition can also be seen. In the cases of epilepsy, necrosis, electrocaution, we can see this phenomena. Which phenomena? The function of the brain and the brain stem ceases for a small amount of time. But in the cases of death, this is irreversible seizures of the function of brain of the death, brain of this and this brain stem. Means the brain and the brain stem stop working. Next we have irreversible cessation of respiration. Now we have lungs. The complete stoppage of respiration for more than 4 minutes usually causes death. The stoppage of respiration can be established by inspecting palpitation, auscultation. Means now in the cases of this lungs, when they stop working, what we'll see, we'll inspect we'll inspect that any visible movement of respiration is seen or not seen, the movement of the chest is seen or not seen. If it is not seen, the means the respiration has stopped. When we do the palpitation, no respiration movement can be felt. When we do the auscultation, the breath sound cannot be heard from any part of them. On if we put a stethoscope on the chest or on the back, no laminar sound or the crypting sound or any of the sound of the movement sound of the air cannot be heard. Means the lungs has stopped working. This confirms the lungs are not working. ठीक है. Then next we will move on. Irreversible cessation of the circulation. Now, we know the tripod of life is brain, lungs, and heart. In this, we have already discussed the two. Now we come to the heart. The stoppage of the heartbeat for more than 3 to 5 minutes is irrecoverable and results in death. The following tests may be performed to test circulation. Now, if a person is if we put the stethoscope on the chest, on the apex of the heart, will if we hear no sound, that means we can suspect कि the heart is not working. For the complete and for confirmation, we have to do some tests like the radial, brachial, femoral, and a carotid pulsation will be absent. If the circulation has stopped, as we all know, the pulsation on these areas like carotid, brachial, femoral, and these all areas, we can feel the movement of blood that is caused due to the pumping of the heart. Now, if we see at these four areas we can't feel any of the pulsation, that means the heart has stopped. On auscultation of the heart, we'll see no heart sound on or the heartbeat on auscultation. So, on the whole, pericardial region, particularly over the area of the apex. The area of the apex, if we put the stethoscope on the area of the apex, we'll see no heartbeat. When we'll do ECG, in the cases of the cessation of the circulation, when we do the ECG curve is absent. The flat line will be shown, and none of the elevation or the depression is seen on the ECG. This confirms the heart is not working, and we can get a point ki the cessation of the circulation has been done. So moving on to the next. There is also a technical word known as pallor mortis. In the Latin, we know the pallor means paleness and mortis is of death. This is the first stage of death, and after death, the paleness that occurs in those with light or white skin means when we'll see normally when we'll see a person, we'll see redness, like for example in the nail bed. When we see the redness that is due to the circulation of the heart. If a person dies after 15 to 30 minutes, we'll see the nail bed will be white, and when we press the nail bed, we can't see any firstly in the normal person, we'll see when we press the nail, we'll see the discoloration of the nail bed, and when we release the pressure, we'll see the normalcy, that is the reddish color below the nail bed. But in the cases of dead person, we won't see any of this phenomenon, and the body slowly and gradually becomes pale because of the lack of the circulation by heart. So the body becomes pale, and this is also known as pallor mortis. Moving on to the next. Now, what is suspended animation? What is suspended animation? Suspended animation is a condition in which the vital signs of the life, that is the tripod of the life, heart, lung, and brain, are not detected by routine clinical method, as the function are interrupted for some times or reduced to minimum. Means, if we can't feel the activity of the brain, if we can't feel the respiratory movement, if we can't hear any of the sound, this means the person has entered into the stage of suspended animation. What is the difference between suspended animation and death? The suspended animation is for a smaller time, and the death, in the cases of death, it is irreversible process. So in the suspended animation, the person can be revived to the normal, but in the cases of death, it cannot be revived to the normal. What is the mechanism for suspended animation? The metabolic rate is greatly reduced so that the requirement of the individual cell for oxygen is satisfied through dissolved oxygen in the body fluid. Moving on to the next. The suspended animation is basically of two types. First is voluntary and another is involuntary. In the voluntary, this is seen basically in the practices by the practitioners of the yoga. In this, what a yogi do, he or she reduces the heartbeat and the function of the lungs to the minimum so that it cannot be detected clinically. That doesn't mean that yogi is dead. This means they has voluntary, by years of practice, had reduced the had controlled over their heartbeat and the lungs, and they can reduce it to such an amount that it cannot be diagnosed clinically. Okay. The second type of suspended animation is involuntary. Involuntary as it is seen in many of the events, like when we have freezing of the body in the ice, when someone is got trapped in the ice, and due to cold the body freezes. We see the person enters the stage of suspended animation in a specific given period of time, the specific frame of time. If the person get proper medical aid, they can be revived. But in the cases of death, it cannot be revived. In the cases of suspended animation, it can revive. Like also in the poisoning of barbiturates or opioid, we see suspended animation. Sometimes we see this suspended animation in newborns, in drowning, in electrocution, in heat stroke, in cholera. Post anesthesia symptoms also consist of suspended animation in the cases of shock, in the cerebral contusion or insanity. And sometimes we also see these cases in the persons of insanity. There is a keynote for this. The patient can be resuscitated by the cardiac massage or electric stimulus, etc. The death certificate should not be issued by any of the doctor without confirming it by ECG or EEG record. If a person is dead and you have to issue a death certificate, so firstly you have to do an ECG and EEG. In ECG and EEG, if we get the flat lines, then we'll confirm the person is dead. In the suspended animation, when we do ECG, we get a very low amplitude changes of the line, but we get the changes in the ECG, not flat line in seen, the low amplitude height of beats, and the mechanism acting in the circulation and the heart beating, we detect that in ECG. Now moving on to the next. This is the end of this video. The next part of death, that is the early changes, will be discussed in the next video. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and study.